Welcome to the Mindful Book Critic, where we share mindful practical strategies that help you ease anxiety and reclaim your life. I'm your host, Lena, the Mindful Book Critic, and today we're diving into some powerful strategies to help ease anxiety. These are simple concepts that you can start using right away. Let's get started. I recently revisited a book I believe is a game changer for anyone struggling with anxiety. It's called The Mindful Way Through Anxiety by Susan M. Orsilio and Lisa Romer. Key point number one is to stop the struggle when you're feeling anxious. Have you ever tried to hold a ball down in water, like in the ocean, and you feel it resist against you? A lot of us, when we're feeling anxiety, we try to push our emotions down. And the more we push them down, the more they want to come up. They want to come up and we feel them and we react to them. So what we are encouraged to do, according to the writers, is to develop a sense of acceptance that I'm feeling anxious right now, to allow the feelings to simply be there, to observe them. And once we're with them and observe them, we can start to settle and let them rest with us and say to ourselves, anxiety is with me right now. And that will actually give us some freedom and space to understand that we're feeling anxious, accept that's a part of what we're experiencing right now, not deny it, not struggle, not fight with it and say, I don't want to feel this way. That struggle actually will sometimes cause more of the anxiety feeling, according to the writers. Acknowledge that the feeling is with you and don't fight against it. Practice acceptance and willingness to be with that emotion. And over time, we will start to see that emotion dissipate because we're no longer fighting it with. The next key point is being anchored in the present. I happened to have the privilege of visiting the Sierra Nevada mountains recently. And it was my first time in that particular part of the United States in California. Driving up the coast, it's the most beautiful and breathtaking scene I had seen. One of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my lifetime. It is distracting when you're trying to drive and there are no rails along the road to prevent a person from driving off the cliff as you're ascending up the Sierra Nevada mountains. Quite a bit of anxiety I actually felt taking that drive myself. That was one of the most important times in my life that I had to stay present. I had to remind myself, you are driving up the road. It's beautiful. You're here. You do feel the anxiety of the condition that you're driving in, but it's a good time to be present. And taking breaths that allowed me to keep my emotions under control, have compassion for myself in that particular time. And I was able to make my drive as well as learn and stay mindful as to understanding the roads and the traffic patterns there. So there's a lot of taking two at the same time. But that is one example that I wanted to share about staying anchored in the present, because not only is it important in times of safety, but it is important in our daily lives, whether you're at work, with your children, your family, whatever you're doing in your everyday life. It is so important to stay in that moment and not be concerned about the future, what ifs, and am I good enough or am I doing this right? So it's a good reminder to stay present. One of the ways we can stay connected also is our breath, our five senses. What are we touching? What are we seeing? Feeling our feet on the floor. These are all recommended by the authors to help us stay in the present. That's a key factor in managing our anxiety. The third key point is your thoughts. As an anxious person experiences many thoughts, we may not feel that we can control the flow of thoughts that come into our mind. But what we do have control about is accepting those thoughts and questioning those thoughts as well. That's another technique that is very helpful. What we are able to do at that time is to observe the thoughts and allow them to roll away. Imagine they are waves, like you're sitting on a beach and you see the waves roll in. That's a thought coming in. And with the ocean's tide, the waves roll back out. So you can allow your thoughts to roll in and roll out, not being attached to that particular thought at that particular time and going down what is known as a rabbit hole, being caught up in the what ifs and the next thing, the future, the past, all the things that your mind can so easily remind you of, bring to your awareness, because our minds are there to help us survive. So the mind is doing what it's supposed to do, but you are the observer. Is this really true? Is this really valid? We are empowered to be the people that make the decision whether or not these thoughts are true, helpful, and most importantly, let the thoughts roll in and roll out. So you're not attached to them and you don't spend as much time battling with your thoughts. The fourth point is know what matters. And the time when you might feel maybe anxious, reflect upon your values. What really matters to you in your life? Is it your relationships? Is it your connection? Is it the key people? Is it pet or a place that's very important to you? So know what really matters to you and let that really guide your actions as opposed to having anxiety guide your actions. The book is encouraging us to move away from allowing anxious thoughts to guide our actions, keep us from going to see friends or taking part in social events. It's saying to give it a try. Even if you are anxious, anxiety can be with you, but it doesn't control your life. You may find that you are still able to find the beauty and the moments that you are able to find happiness so that your life is more balanced and away from anxiety and more balanced toward enjoying your life, which is what we're doing anyway. Recognizing what our values are, I think it's going to take a person to understand these are the things that I like. I like, might take some discovery to see I like to do these things. These are the things I prefer to do had I not the situation of anxiety to deal with. So it's ultimately we can choose where we would like to spend more of our time from on this particular point. Anxiety is with us. However, we know we would prefer to be spending our time on the things that really matter to us based on our value systems. And it allows us to make a choice. I shared earlier that I was driving up the side of a mountain, even though it was very uncomfortable and anxiety was with me. It did not prevent me. That's just an example, but it's just one way, one small step to tackle your anxiety, to tackle the things that could potentially prevent us from enjoying our lives. And as I got up to the top of the mountain, I was able to see some of the beautiful places up at Yosemite National Park, which was a huge goal for me. Having the anxiety with me, using my breath, staying focused, really helped a lot. It helped me to enjoy that moment, and anxiety did not take it from me. The final point that was raised by the authors is practicing self-compassion. A lot of times we can be very critical of ourselves. You really wish you weren't dealing with the feelings of anxiety. And we like to be experiencing something different. It can sometimes make us be a little harsh on ourselves and less than compassionate. The author reminds us, and one of the things I've learned is to remember to be very kind with yourself as you are experiencing something potentially scary in your particular life and situation. Anxiety can be accompanied with moments of fear or very unpleasantness. So we want to be as compassionate as we can with ourselves. These are times when we can talk to ourselves as though we're talking to our friend or our loved one, our child, or someone that we hold very dearly. How would you speak to that person? The author is encouraging us to speak to ourselves with gentleness, kindness, compassion, and understanding. The more we have it for ourselves, it allows us to have it for other people. A lot of times we miss that. So we have it for other people. We don't sometimes have it for ourselves. So it's very important that in the cases of when you're feeling anxious, we embody that for ourselves because that will give you the support you need. Take the deep breath, find that space, knowing that you're loved and supported as you go through this moment and understand it may not always be that way. So to recap, the major key points are stop the struggle and stop fighting with our anxiety whenever we do have it. Second one is to anchor in the present. We want to be present and feel our five senses around us, feel the air coming in and out of our nostrils as we're breathing, feel the floor underneath our feet. If you're outside, feel the wind on your face. We would explore our five senses to bring us back to the moment that we're in. Next, we want to know that you are not your thoughts. As these thoughts arise, we can remember the waves that come in. That's your thought coming in, and the waves go out, and you let those thoughts go out. There is a approach to releasing these thoughts as they come in. We don't hold them. We don't attach to them. We release them. And finally is to know what matters as we experience anxiety from time to time. Know that our values are aligned. We need to know what our values are so that we align to them. I want to do the things that bring joy and happiness to my life. And if those are the things that truly matter to me, that will help us continue to find the beauty in life. And the last one is to practice compassion for ourselves. We want to be as kind as we can, remembering to speak to ourselves as though we're speaking to a friend. Hold space for yourself to be compassionate whenever anxiety is with you. And so those are the 5 key points that I observed in this book. If you're interested in going deeper into mindfulness, I have a free 7-day mindfulness starter course on my website. You can find it at mindfulbookcritic.com, where you can go into pages and you will see courses that are available. I'd like to thank you for the time that you spent with me today reviewing this book, The Mindful Way Through Anxiety. If you're interested in more book reviews, please check out the related videos for the Mindful Book Critic podcast on this channel. Thank you for your time.